Milan Cortina 2026.
An Olympic-sized box of lies.
You tell me Drew Barrymore is behind me.
Yes.
Plus Lil Uzi Vert and a surprise from Nick Jonas.
Y'all ready for this?
New tonight.
Neighbors help neighbors. And every single voice has something to say. Across the headlines, the heat, the hustle, we are right here with you in this place we call home.
So you guys are here for the people, and I really feel that.
Showing what happened today, what it means for tomorrow, and helping you cut through the noise. We know this place is a lot of work. We also know it is so worth it. That's why we keep it local.
We know what moves you isn't just horsepower, it's heart. That's why every Toyota is built for you. Because we don't just know cars, we know people. The ones who pack courage, not maps. Drivers of the future before it arrives. Born in late-night garages, raised for the race. Those who let their cultura lead the way. And you, masters of morning rush and midnight check-ins. Wherever you're going, whoever you're with, we got you.
Belinda Leon weather, weekday mornings at 6.
Now at 11, let the games begin. The glitz and glamour, the fashion of tonight's opening ceremony in Milan, with a focus on unity and harmony. Team USA ready to compete. For the next 2 weeks, we've got you covered with all the action, the highlights, and live coverage from Milan.
I'm Macy Jenkins in Inglewood tonight. We hear from the family of the 5-year-old girl struck by the shoe of her teacher's aide. We'll hear what they want to be done by law enforcement.
We watched as investigators took a car from her Tucson home live on NBC4. Is it a key piece of evidence, and who does it belong to? I'm Robert Kovacic live in Arizona, where we are confirming new details in the search for Nancy Guthrie.
NBC4 News at 11 starts with breaking news.
And we begin at 11 with that breaking news from Tucson, a car towed from the home of Savannah Guthrie's mom as investigators return to look for more clues. Good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen Williams.
And I'm Michael Brownlee. We're also learning of a new message about Nancy Guthrie sent to a local television station. NBC4's Robert Kovacic live for us in Tucson tonight with the latest developments. Robert.
Good evening to you, Michael and Colleen. So just to give you an idea of where we are right now, we are in the suburbs of Tucson, just about a 5-minute drive or so from the home of Nancy Guthrie. We have been following a few major developments this afternoon and into the evening, one of them taking place here at the Circle K behind me. The other we witnessed live tonight on the NBC4 News at 7.
This is, I believe you're going to see live on NBC4, a flatbed truck.
Just after 7 o'clock this evening, our camera captured video of a car being towed on a flatbed truck from the residence of Nancy Guthrie. A photo and video record of Nancy Guthrie's home shows the car taken was previously seen in Nancy Guthrie's garage and is believed to belong to her. The FBI returned to the home to continue crime scene processing today. The FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Office also say they are aware of a new message regarding Nancy Guthrie. In a social media post, the FBI writing that they're actively inspecting the information provided in the message for its authenticity. The new message was sent to a Tucson television station, according to 3 officials briefed on the message. It is still unclear what kind of message it is and if it is connected to previously reported ransom notes. Also tonight, a spokesperson for Circle K tells NBC News that law enforcement visited one of their stores in Tucson. And at one Circle K close to the Guthrie home, we spotted deputies outside. That spokesperson for Circle K saying officers received, quote, a tip regarding a vehicle of interest, and their team has provided the officers access to the store's surveillance video. Officials have not yet said if the vehicle or vehicles are definitively connected to any part of Guthrie's disappearance or if that tip has led them anywhere. But on Air Force One tonight, President Trump commenting to reporters on the investigation that involves the Department of Justice and the FBI.
I think we're doing very well meaning we have some clues, I think, that are very strong, and I think we could have some answers coming up fairly soon.
We also did witness today sheriff's deputies canvassing the neighborhood around Nancy Guthrie's home, asking specifically for security camera video. And the sheriff of Pima County telling NBC News this evening he has completed all of his talks with the staff who worked for Nancy Guthrie. For now, we're live tonight here in Tucson. I'm Robert Kovacic. Michael and Colleen, let's go back to you.
All right, Robert, appreciate it. Thank you. I want to take you now to some break.
Michael and Colleen, let's go back to you.
All right, Robert, appreciate it. Thank you. I want to take you now to some breaking news. A high-speed chase here involving a motorcycle. Eliana Miranda live overhead at News Chopper 4. Eliana.
And look at those speeds, Michael. We're talking about triple-digit speeds. Right before we got overhead, we heard that this guy was going as much as 150 miles an hour. But since we've got overhead, we've clocked him at as much as 115. So definitely high speeds here. Difficult to keep up with him. But he's currently headed eastbound on the 134, coming up to the interchange with the Glendale Freeway with the 2. This is a motorcycle rider who is evading the California Highway Patrol. It's a chase that started down off of Wilmington and the 91 freeway, made its way northbound onto the 405, then eastbound 101 freeway to the Ventura Freeway, the 134, where we find ourselves now, continuing headed eastbound toward Pasadena. The driver is wanted for speeding.
Eliana, as we look at this, there's really not a whole lot of traffic ahead of him. Are CHP officers keeping up?
At this point, no units directly behind him, Colleen, because of these fast speeds. And as you said, really no traffic in front of him either. So this guy can go in any lane that he wants. He can go at whatever speed he wants because there's really nothing that is going to be stopping him here. As far as I can see, as he transitions here onto the 210 freeway potentially, there is nothing in the way of traffic. So no units directly behind him, but you can see the night sun there every now and then, which means that the police helicopters overhead. That is the LA County Sheriff's Department that is providing their helicopter to continue to track this individual. Again, the original want was speed, so he could have simply pulled over, would have been a speeding ticket, but now just rack on all of the offenses here as he continues over 100 miles an hour, 130 something miles an hour here as he continues from the 134 east to the 210.
Yeah, Eliana, you mentioned that it would be very difficult for ground crews to keep up, but will they engage at some point? What would the protocol be? Are they going to try to get ahead of this, perhaps?
They're not going to be able to track him at these speeds, Michael. Yeah. We even are having issues with the helicopter as well. It's kind of at that tail end of what the helicopter can follow as well. So at this point, all they can really do is try to keep tabs on him as best they can with the helicopter, have units relatively close just in case he were to come to an end here, either in a crash or drive into a parking structure or enter a tunnel. Those have become very popular here with motorcycle chases. But at these speeds, the officers are really limited in what they can do. They obviously cannot try a pit maneuver. They're not going to try spike strips. So some of the things that they could usually use in pursuits for pursuit intervention tactics simply do not work with motorcycles, which is why most of the time motorcyclists who flee from police are able to get away unless that helicopter's overhead, and in this case, of course, already overhead. So the chances that this guy is going to get away is definitely more limited now that you've got a couple helicopters overhead, of course, continuing to track this guy, continuing now eastbound on the 210 freeway.
Ilya, I know he's blowing by these exits so quickly, but can you give us an idea of where he is exactly? Has he hit Azusa yet at these speeds?
So not quite at Azusa, but very close, Colleen. We're just passing by Pasadena. So areas like Pasadena City Hall, for example, coming up to Lake. So Lake Avenue is, of course, a major street there that crosses over the 210 freeway there. So that would be our nearest cross street. But continuing eastbound here on the 210 freeway, of course,
we are obviously having some issues there with Our shot from News Chopper 4, but heading eastbound on the 210 freeway. And Colleen, we clocked those speeds at anywhere from 115 to 130 miles per hour.
If he's just passing Lake, then the next one is Hill. Then he goes into further on up Madre, San Gabriel. He's getting very close on the 210. Have we got Ileana back yet? Okay. Do we want to move on at this point and then maybe come back?
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
We're going to continue to track her, and we'll get back to her as soon as her signal comes back up.
All right, now to an update in the race for mayor, L.A. mayor. We're going to get to this story. L.A. County Supervisor Lindsay Horvath announced late here tonight that she will not run for mayor of Los Angeles. In a statement tonight, she said she came to this decision after, quote, much prayer and many honest conversations. The deadline, by the way, to file in the race is tomorrow at noon.
All right, we've been able to reestablish a signal with News Chopper 4 and Ileana. Give us an idea. It looks like he is, what, 125, anywhere from 100 to 125 miles an hour, and all over the freeway here.
All over the freeway, and the speeds are all over the place as well, Colleen, dropping down to 100 miles sometimes, up to 130, but continuing eastbound here on the 210 freeway, coming up to Arcadia.